Hey teachers, in this lesson I'm going to be going over how I make my online lessons more interactive for my students. And I do that in a few ways. I like to add my own video to it, I like to add bullet points and text potentially, and I like to add other videos to the video. And we're going to go over how you can do all of that. But if all that sounds too complicated, I totally understand. I actually just made a video on how you could create a very isolated math lesson that is similar to what you would find on YouTube, like a Khan Academy video that just goes over one concept in about 5 to 10 minutes. It only shows one screen, and that's totally fine. But when I'm making a longer online lesson, I like to include myself and maybe a few other things in order to keep it as lively, I guess, as possible for the students. But to do all that, I'm going to need a few things. I'm going to keep it as simple as possible, like I said. So we're only going to be using my iPad, my smartphone, and just a couple of apps. One app is GoodNotes, and I went over why I like that in the last video, so go ahead and watch that if you're not sure what GoodNotes is. The other one is LumaFusion. It's a video editing app. Now, you're going to need a video editing app to edit all this, that makes sense. And the iPad comes with a video editing software. It's called iMovie. And iMovie can work for this. You could definitely use it. I just prefer to use LumaFusion. LumaFusion costs a little bit of money, but it is way underpriced for the value you get. It's a very professional software given the fact that it's on an iPad, and I love it. I'm not trying to teach you to be a professional video editor, don't worry. I'm just trying to help you teach online, so let's get into it. The first thing I'm going to do is switch over to my smartphone. Now you're going to notice right away that the audio quality and the video quality probably dropped a little bit, and that's fine. We're not going for the highest production value, we're just trying to make a video. I'm going to crop this in so that the students don't see my whole room, and then we're going to go ahead and start recording my lesson. To do that, I'm going to screen record my iPad right now by opening my iPad just like normal, if it recognizes your face right away. And then I'm going to pull down in the top right of the screen and press the screen record button. It looks like this one in the bottom left corner of that little toolbar. Once it's screen recording, I'm going to go ahead and open up GoodNotes. And I have a lesson here that I already planned beforehand. I'm not going to teach you how to do graphing inequalities, but let's just pretend that right now I taught you. You could see me on my smartphone, you are going to be able to see my iPad, and that's that. Once I'm done with my lesson, I'm going to go ahead and turn off my phone and stop recording on my iPad by pulling back down that top right corner and pressing the screen record button. Now that I finished my lesson, I have the screen recording on my iPad and I have myself that was recorded on the smartphone. In order to get the smartphone recording over, I just went ahead and airdropped it over to my iPad. You could use any messaging app to do that. It's pretty easy. And when you do that, it just saves it to your photos. Nothing complicated there. So let's open LumaFusion. We're going to create a new project by pressing this plus button right here. We'll just call it my project for now. You can name it whatever you want in the future. And we're going to press the plus button. From here, we need to import our photos. So we're going to go ahead and press the photo app right here. And we're going to press videos. Here's my iPhone's recording, and here is my screen recording. We're going to want to line them up so that they are on the same timeline, so to speak. So as you see, I'm on a timeline right here, but my iPad's recording is not synced up with my smartphone's recording. But to do that, it shouldn't be too complicated. I'm just going to use the audio of each to match them up. So you can see the audio of the iPad and the audio of the iPhone or your smartphone has a little bit of like a mountain range looking thing. If you can just find where they match up and kind of listen to both, you can put them together into the right spots. I'm going to go ahead and do that now. Now that I have both the videos aligned, I'm going to go ahead and test which one sounds the best and then choose the audio. So for instance, right here I have just my iPad. Actually, no, this would just be my smartphone. Corner of that little toolbar. Once it's screen recording, I'm going to go ahead and open up GoodNotes. And here's my iPad. Here that I've had prepared beforehand. I'm not going to be going over. That's both at the same time. Don't want that. Let's go with the iPad only. You'll notice that one video right now is in front of the other video, and I can't see myself in this timeline, right? Right here I can see myself, but once the iPad comes in, I can't see myself. So I'm gonna have to put the video myself in front by unlinking, putting it on top of the iPad. And now we scroll on down, get past all that, and I am now in front of the iPad on the timeline, right? See how I can see myself but not the iPad? But I want to see the iPad, so let's double click on my own video. And we're going to go ahead and decrease the size. And we need to go ahead and flip it. Right now it's vertical and we want it horizontal, so just going to go ahead and do that. And we can move it around wherever we want. I like to have it in the corner, but I'll let you figure that out. You can change the size, you can change the corner. I could even crop it down like I mentioned earlier, so that it's just me. Whatever you want to do, that's up to you. I'll let you figure that out. At this point, I need to trim the fat of my video because there's a bunch of stuff that I don't need. I only really want when the iPad and my video are aligned. So let's go ahead and do that. Notably, it's just going to be this little bit of the timeline right here. So what I can do is get right there and press this scissor button, and it'll cut off the rest of the video. And I'm going to go ahead and trash that. And I'm going to trash this little bit right here. And I'm going to cut down the fat by pulling this in right here. And now, I just have the video that actually matters. Once I feel good with that, I could potentially add in more animations, or text, or other videos. I'm just going to go over how to add text real quick. If I wanted to add more text, let's say I'm right here in my lesson, I need to add some text, I could add by pressing this addition button right here. Press the overlay title, and you'll see there's now text. It's kind of hard to see. Let's get in there and make it a little bit better to see. And you can mess around with it however you want. I can go ahead and retype hello right here. I can make it red, blue. Just want to give you an idea of how you can add text to the video. And again, you're going to mess around with this and figure out what's best for your video. And really, that's about it. We're kind of done with our video editing. We can go ahead and export the project real easy by going to this button in the bottom right corner. And you can save it as a photo, or you could upload it directly to YouTube if you have a YouTube account. Now I know that that was a lot. It was a long video. I had to go through a lot of different things. But the big takeaway is that I know you can do it because you really only need an iPad and your own phone or a laptop and your own phone, and you can make these kinds of lessons on your own. You don't need all the fancy bells and whistles, just as long as it's a little more interactive by including yourself. I think that it'll go a long way in your students' learning. I hope this was helpful. Thanks for watching, and good luck in your own teaching.